It's just not good enough. And if the UK government expect people to migrate to EVs in scale like they do, they need to sort that out because it's just not good enough. I don't know whether I've ever been so angry on my YouTube channel before. Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to a very snowy West Sussex. It's Baltic today. We had a little dusting of snow overnight, but today I need to drive to Wales to do some filming, a journey of just over 200 miles, and I thought I would put this whole does an EV's charge state and range get affected by the cold weather, because it is just a smidge over 0 degrees Celsius, and my MG only has a range of about 140 miles. So today should be an interesting journey. Hopefully it won't be too much of a nightmare. So yes, today's video is going to be a little bit of a gun and run special. The car's been charging overnight on my Zappi home wall box. Unfortunately, this particular car doesn't have the ability to precondition the batteries, which is what I would normally do on a cold day like today. Some cars you can go into an app on your phone, or you can go into the car and you can basically warm the batteries up, and that gives them just that little bit more efficiency, and that will prolong your range a little bit. So I'm gonna have to go with it as it is. Let's just have a quick check. As I said, it's been charging up all night long. Let me just open the car. Okay, so we've got a range of 132 miles. That's not enough. Okay, we are on our way, and how beautiful does it look with a little dusting of snow we had last night. We have our first minor hitch, and the minor hitch is ZapMap, as good an app as it is, has introduced a premium service. And quite a lot of the cool features that you want to use, you need to be signed up to this premium service. And I've just discovered, because I haven't used it for a while, that if you create a route on ZapMap, which I've done, with my charge stops on it between now and my destination, if you want to run that through Apple CarPlay, you need to be signed up to the premium service, which I'm not, which is a bit annoying. So what I've done is I've still found the charge stop I want to make in ZapMap, and then I'm navigating to that charge stop using Waze. The challenge I have, the range anxiety is kicking in already, is that charger is 106 miles away currently, and I have 124 miles of charge because I've already done about 5 miles of my journey. Now, the reason I haven't done a long journey up until now in the MG, which I've had now for over 2 months, and on short journeys around the kind of Goodwood area, it is a brilliant thing. Really simple. We charge it up maybe once a week, but with the limited top range, and I know the new replacement or updated model of the ZS EV has a longer range. This one, 140 miles. A lot of the journeys that I do are longer than that, or have quite a tight time scale around them, and that means that it's just not been an option up till now. I've either had to get somewhere within a very tight time frame, or not had the opportunity to charge overnight, those types of things. This week I'm going to Wales to do some filming. I've got all day to get there today, so I've been able to schedule in an extra hour or so to make a charge stop. I should be able to charge overnight, or certainly tomorrow, and then on the way back on Wednesday, again, I've had the ability to have a bit more time and set in a charge stop. That is annoying. That's the bit about EVs if you don't have the longer range. If I had a 300-mile range car, I wouldn't have even worried about it. I'd have gone in it and on off I go. But with this one, you just have to do more planning. So this morning I was on ZapMap. I've had a good look at the different 50 kilowatt and above chargers that I can find en route. So hopefully it shouldn't be too stressful today. But look at that, beautiful. 2 brief updates. I did try and type in the destination into the MG sat nav in the car, I didn't go much further than that because it didn't even say you haven't got enough range to get to that destination, let's plan in a charge stop. The second thing is I've been driving in normal mode. If I go up into efficiency mode, my range goes from, let me do that again, so in normal mode my range is currently showing 109 miles. In efficiency mode it goes up to 119. So it gets me an extra 10 miles. What happens if I go the other way? Oh, sport mode, 103. Yeah, let's do efficiency for a little bit, because I am on a full-on range trip because I've got 91 miles to go to my charge stop. So efficiency mode sounds like a cunning plan. So now on the dual carriageway of the A34, and actually doing something that I didn't do in my review. So I'm using the adaptive cruise control in this car, which is actually really good. And what I would say is if you're going to do one of these long range tests in the cold, it's very, very good for keeping your license, because you drive like a complete and utter wuss. You're like slowly, gently on the throttle, accelerating away as gently as you can. I've even set my adaptive cruise just to 65 miles an hour on the dual carriageway, because you know the drag squares with speed, right? So the faster you go, the more drag you get, the more energy you consume. So I'm just trying something out. The difference between doing 65 miles an hour and 70 miles an hour in my overall journey time probably won't make a great deal of difference. However, the difference in the amount of energy I consume and the range that I get probably will be significant. I don't know how I'm going to measure that, but you know, maybe that's my man maths, I'm not sure. Range, well, 103 miles of range and currently 76 miles to my charge stop destination. And then the stressful thing is there going to be a car plugged in or not? We'll see. I'm going to make it range-wise, but and there is a big but. If there's a car plugged into this charger, I'm screwed, because I don't think I've got enough range to go anywhere else. So I would literally just have to wait for them to charge. And people go, well, why did you only go to somewhere that only has one charge point? Well, actually, most are one or two maybe, unless you're driving a Tesla. That's the challenge you have. This garage has probably 8 fuel pumps. To fill a car up with petrol probably takes, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, and then the pump's free for someone else to use. It's got one electric charge point, and it typically takes 45 minutes to an hour to charge up a car, so therefore it can do one car an hour. Here we go. Come on. Keep your fingers crossed for me, people. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, yes. You beauty. You absolute beauty. Got no cars in it. Wicked. Okay. So, 113 and a half miles actually, and I got 13 miles of range left. So, I'm going to get plugged in, and then I'm going to work out how much charge I need to put into the car to get me to my destination. Yes! I have myself coffee. So we started charging about 20 past. Let me just remember that one. I'm already 24% charged, 37 miles. Now, my destination is 98 miles away, so I need to make sure I've got at least that. So it is a bit of a stretch to try and get this car to do a 200-mile journey without stopping twice to charge. And that isn't something that I can get my head around, planning in a 1-hour charge stop on a journey, but I can't get my head around having to plan in 2. So the really interesting thing for me so far is I have eked out that amount of range with the car. So the trip time already, I wonder if I think the trip 110 miles or so. So you're looking at 125 mile range in these cold weather conditions, and that is driving in economy mode at 65 miles an hour on a dual carriageway motorway. and being really careful. So, you know, and also having the temperature turn right down because I'm freezing. My feet are cold. And that's the big challenge. So this car, I am pushing it and myself to its limits at the moment. So 40 minutes in, and I've added 100 miles of range. I'm now at 74, make that 75% of charge state. Now, I've now got enough range to get to my destination, but only just. And also that's assuming that the car doesn't do the magic, suddenly lose 10 to 15 miles. So I'm going to sit on here for another 20 minutes or so and maybe take that charge up to 90%. And I know what happens when you get to 80%, things start to slow down, and that last 20% takes a long time. But I just need that extra bit of range to get to my destination. So it's 99 miles to my destination, and I've got 121 miles of range. So I'd like to get that up to at least kind of 130 miles of range, and then I might feel a little bit more confident going off. But 40 minutes to get 100 miles is not too bad. I will let you know how much it costs very shortly, because that's the thing that freaks people out most of the time, is the cost of public charging is quite significant. On the road again. So on the road again, 150 miles of range. I've just checked my bank, and that cost me £7.60 to put 140 miles of range into the car. So while I'm cruising along the M5 and the light is fading, even though it's only 20 to 3, I'm probably not going to be able to film for much longer. Just a reflection of that charge stop. That's a good charge stop. That's when things go right. I know I had a little bit of range anxiety getting to the stop, but I planned that stop in advance. It was a fast charger. I got enough charge. You know, I could have probably left that charge station at 40 minutes. I decided to stay on for a little bit longer. I was there for probably an hour. I replenished the battery, you know, and the range enough to then carry on to my destination. You know, and whilst I was waiting, I had a bite to eat and a coffee, did a few emails, and actually it wasn't too much of a pain. It has obviously added an hour to my total journey time. Normally this journey takes me about 4.5 hours, so it's going to be about 5.5 hours door to door. But that's when things go well. But the problem for me I have, as I get overtaken by a Tesla, and probably something that he wouldn't have the problem with, is it's just that unknown anxiety. I checked with ZapMap that charge station was working. It was a Shell station, and I'm a big fan of those. I knew I didn't need an app because you just pay with a contactless payment card. So it's a relatively low stress environment. The biggest challenge would have been had there been a car plugged into that charger, because the amount of charge I had when I got there, I really would have then probably had to wait for whatever was plugged in to finish their charge and just plug in there, because I didn't have enough range to go and find something else. But anyway, hopefully we'll be all right. 138 miles of range, 87 miles to go. Happy days. And with a bit of luck, I'll get to charge up overnight as well. Now, I know it's dark, but I have arrived. I'm actually at Electric Classic Cars visiting my mate Moggy, but he's now got an external 3-phase charger. So as they say, ABC, always be charging. I'm here for about an hour this evening and then back again tomorrow, so I thought I'd quickly get a few electrons in the car. I arrived with just over 40 miles of range left, so a really very low stress second half of the journey. But all in all, from home to here, actually that's pretty low stress, really. Tiny bit of range anxiety before the charge, but now I'm here, that's all good. So I won't be able to get a full charge here now, but where I'm staying this evening, they have a charger as well, so hopefully I can get it on the charger overnight as well. Spring forward a day. I'm on my way home after a successful couple of days here in Wales. Now, my home journey is going to be an interesting one. I got onto ZapMap this morning and planned my route. The challenge I've got is the range of the car. Pretty much, I kind of I'm fully charged. It's been overnight. I put a charge in it. It's been on a charger at Moggy's as well this morning, so it was absolutely brimming this morning, and it stated just over 151 miles of range. I need to stop at a charge station so that I can then get enough charge in to then get home, so I only have to stop once, and that means that the charge station I'm stopping at, well, at the moment, what does my sat nav say? It says 121 miles away, and I've got 144 miles of range, so I'm playing the range anxiety game again. The other thing that's a little bit annoying is that the charge stop is a BP Pulse charge stop, and according to ZapMap, I've never used BP Pulse before. It's one of the apps I don't have on my phone, so I've downloaded the BP Pulse app, registered with it, set up a direct debit with it so that I can use the BP Pulse app. Interestingly, they also post you an RFID tag to use as well. And that, for me, that's the bit that annoys the hell out of me when it comes to EVs, is that it's not just, oh, I'll stop there. It's, okay, what's the provider of that charger, and do I have the app, and if not, I need to download it, register with it, and all of that kind of stuff. That stuff has to stop. And I know things are changing in that all chargers are going to be just contactless payments eventually, but I don't currently know the exact status of them all, so I don't know exactly whether or not this one is, and I don't particularly want to get there and find out it isn't. Now, the other thing is I've got a contingency stop. I could stop at the garage I stopped at on the way here if I don't think my range is enough, and I might just do a quick splash and dash and maybe stop for 20 minutes to half an hour, just put a rapid charge in and then do another 20 minutes to half an hour nearer home. That might be a cunning plan as well. So that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, it's complicated, this EV thing. Really, really complicated. The other thing is it's not quite as cold today as it was on the way up, so maybe that's going to help battery longevity a little bit. Okay, I'm only 1.7 miles away from the charge station. Still got 22 miles of range, so it's not been quite as traumatic as the way down. But my worry is twofold. Number one, this charge stop, guess what, only has one charge bay, so I've got that diamond to come. Am I going to get there and find a car already parked? Hopefully not. And then the second one, because it's a BP Pulse station, and I've created an account on the app that I downloaded this morning, and I've put in my details for my bank so that I can set up a direct debit for payment. Although the direct debit has been cleared, what I haven't got is a notification on the app saying that my account is fully active. So I don't know whether my app is going to work. So I am mildly worried that I'm going to get there and the app's not going to work, and then I'm not going to be able to pay with just a normal contactless debit card. Come on, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Empty charge stop, please. Empty charge stop, please. No! Tesla! What's he doing parked in there? Gutted. Oh man, he's a Tesla. He doesn't need to be parked in here. Damn it. That dude in that Model 3 was still charging. I think he'd only got to 64% of his charge state. So there is another charger literally a mile down the road that's currently, according to ZapMap, unoccupied. So I'm gonna go there. I only need 90 miles of range to get home, and I've currently got 18. The thing that's really annoyed me, okay, is that dude, that's my car going, boom, recharge. That dude in the Model 3 was in a Tesla. He should be using Tesla charge stations. I can't go and use a Tesla charge station, but he can, so that's not fair. So, you know, he should stick to his own charge network if it's so amazing, instead of going on to the networks that we need. So I know that there are in the UK, in Europe, there's a couple of countries, I think it was Belgium, that have just opened up the Tesla charge network to non-Tesla vehicles. But that's not the case currently in the UK. And what that basically means is I couldn't rock up at a Tesla supercharger network now and plug this car in, yet he can clog up the charger I needed to get home. The other worry I've got is when I get to this one, obviously the worry is that what if there's someone plugged into it? So let's, fingers crossed, this has a charge stop and there's nobody plugged into it. Come on, lady luck, shine on me. Oh no, hold on, that's not an electric car. That is not an electric car plugged into that. That is someone doing their tyres. Awesome. Right, this means I could get some charge. Wicked. Right, I think I might need to use an app though. Bum, I haven't got this one. Right, this is not happening. So it's now not charging. Downloaded the app, says it's charging. Car won't talk to it. Connected. Come on. I am fed up with doing drives like this in electric cars and not being able to be totally positive about it. This is nothing to do with this car. I know that this car has a limited range. It was affected on the way down by the cold weather for sure by, I don't know, 5 or 10%, something like that. Had I had the option to precondition the batteries, that might have been a little bit better. The journey down to Cornwall was where am I going? The journey down to Wales was okay. It wasn't too bad. I got to the stop, there was nothing there. I charged for an hour. I put the amount of, there was a little bit of range anxiety before I got there, but that was all good. Coming back, planning my journey, I did that as it was. Let me turn the light on a little bit. I wonder if I can just get some light that's a little bit better. Coming back, I planned my journey. I checked on ZapMap. I looked at a number of different options for charging. The charge stop I was going to stop at by Harvester, I wasn't a member of that club, so I downloaded the app, registered with it, put my credit card details in, and registered for direct debits. Got there, bloody Tesla parked in there. I mean, and I would have had to stay there for a long time. Get here, different charge network now, Genie Point. Guess what? Different app. I've now got 10 apps on my phone from different charge networks. And people go, oh, that we're going to have contactless payments and you'll just be able to use your debit card. Well, I tell you now, people, that is not the case right now. You rock up to a charge stop like this. If you've not got the right app, you need to download the app, put your credit card details in, give them your name, address, date of birth, and it's absolutely pointless. It is data capture. Why they can't just have a contactless payment system on there like Shell did on the way up, I've got no idea. And then I plug it in and it doesn't work to start with. So I then get the heebie-jeebies thinking, oh no, I've only got 17 miles and I need to get home this evening. And I'm starting to think, what if I can't get home? It's just not good enough. And if the UK government expect people to migrate to EVs in scale like they do, they need to sort that out because it's just not good enough. I don't know whether I've ever been so angry on my YouTube channel before. I love my cars. Piston cars, petrol or diesel, love them. Hybrids, don't mind them. Electric cars, I've driven some amazing electric cars. I actually love this car on a day-to-day basis. I've loved our last couple of months with this car. It's brilliant round town, and as long as it stays there and it stays within that kind of journey profile of maybe up to 50 to 100 miles a day, you are absolutely golden. Plug it in your wall box at home, fantastic. Want to take this a bit longer? Want to take any Tesla or non-Tesla vehicle a bit longer? Good luck to you. That's all I will say, because it's not good enough. And I took an extra hour. I planned an extra hour in this journey today, thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to stop for another hour. I've lost at least half an hour of that, maybe 20 minutes of that, fannying around waiting for a Tesla who shouldn't be parking and charging on that network to move, and then downloading all the different apps. Right, gonna have a coffee and chill out. Now then, I doubt you can even see me because it's now dark. but I've been on charge for, oh, I don't know how long. I've lost the will to live. I've got 81% of charge, 131 miles. That's 40 miles more than I need to get home. I'm going to unplug, get myself home, and then we need to have a discussion when it's daylight for me to summarise my trip. The good, pretty much the journey to Wales. The bad, coming home. Nightmare. I need to get home. Right, unplug. See you in the morning. So it's now the next morning. I got back safely last night with enough range left so that my range anxiety didn't kick into overdrive again. And I went inside and I sat down and I chilled out, and all is good in the world. But a really interesting test. The car itself performed faultlessly. On the way to Wales, it was a really good journey, good charge stop, nothing really went wrong. Managed to charge up while I was there. It was the journey back that kind of opened up all the potential issues you have when you want to charge your car in public. However, I've had that car over 2 months, and that is the first time I've needed to use public charge infrastructure, because we use it within the journey profile that the range of the car gives you. It's charged on a wall box in the evening, and it's never a problem. And I'd argue probably 70 to 80% of electric car journeys are like that. The problem is, if you want to go beyond that range and you need to use public charging infrastructure, then there is a potential for things to go wrong. And there is much work to be done in the UK to make that better. There needs to be more charge stations at each charge stop. There needs to be less fragmentation, just contactless payments, please. And things will get better, I'm sure. But for now, I'm going to draw that one to a close because it's an incredibly long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know your thoughts. Put in the comments below. But if you've enjoyed that one, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.